on the original release for Virtue's Last Reward was the first one to have a flowchart. Of course, Zero Time Dilemma had a flowchart, but the first release of 999 did not have a flowchart. It was only added to the Notary games, the remaster that we're playing, I guess. So in the original 3DS, or in the original DS version, like, if you were following a path, like, you can skip segments. You can, like, go to a flowchart and go, okay, I'm going to jump to this area and blah, blah, blah. You had to play the entire game in order, start to finish, making the choices you wanted to make along the way. Now, you didn't have to read all the dialogue, but you couldn't skip anything. You basically had to play through the entire thing. So, doing the true ending still took you, like, a couple hours. And if you screwed up one of your choices, unless you'd saved recently, you're kind of screwed. You had to start over. So, like, there's a lot of results when you search for flowchart about, you know, here's the VLR flowchart, and here's how it works, and here's the Zero Time Dilemma flowchart, and here's how it works. But there's not so many results for, hey, here's the labeled things for 999. It's basically like, okay, here are the spoiler-free decisions you need to make if you want the true ending. That's pretty much your flowchart. So, welcome back Twitch and YouTube to just another game. I guess we're gonna choose door 7 because it's the first one.
Okay. I'll go with door 7.
I really wanted to go to door 3 because it's very funny, but whatever.
Okay, 7 it is.
Yeah.
All right then. That means June's got to go through 8.
Huh? Why?
Jun's face was blank and confused. Santa muttered to himself and turned to Junpei.
Junpei, you figured it out, right? Can you explain it to her?
Okay, so, June, if we want all 6 of us to go through a door...
Junpei chose his words carefully. When Junpei finally finished, June looked as though she was about to cry.
Oh no! You're saying we aren't gonna see each other again for a long time.
Junpei felt just as June did. He wanted to make sure that he was at her side through whatever trials they were preparing to face. He'd only met her for like the first time in years after like 2 hours ago, and already he's the world's biggest simp. But he knew if they were to survive, he had to swallow his feelings. In order for the 6 of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. He looked at June. He was scared to lose her, but he swallowed, stilled his resolve, and did his best to smile.
Hey, come on. You're making it sound like we're never gonna see each other again.
You're never gonna see each other again.
We gotta split up, but only for a while.
It's gonna be forever.
This is just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember?
You were together.
We got split up then too, but we all met back up.
Yeah, but you were together, so she didn't care.
I'll bet 7 and 8 are just like that.
You mean they're connected somewhere?
Yeah, probably.
Connected like my penis to your vagina. Oops.
Probably.
She didn't sound very hopeful. It was 7 that interjected.
I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why? What makes you think so?
If they don't, then neither team can get through door 9. In other words, the game would end right here. Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I don't think he'd blow it now. I'm damn sure that son of a bitch wants to have his fun as long as possible. He's not gonna end this game until we get through the 9 door.
June said nothing. The tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Junpei. He met them, and with what reassurance he could imagine, or manage, I don't know why I read that as imagine, manage, laid his hand gently on top of her shoulder.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Everything's fucked to
We'll
hell.
see each other again.
We're dead.
I promise.
I will never see each other again. We're gonna die alone and cold and scared. Just like the people in the original Titanic. June bit her lip and gave him an almost imperceptible nod.
Yes. Promise?
Whatever helps you cope. Her voice was barely above a whisper. I'm checking something. Senna's voice shattered the moment.
You guys are done, right?
No, we're still having our high school romance moment here. He stretched and continued.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Clover and I will both go into separate groups.
If you could take a
I
moment...
figure I'll take 8 and Clover can take 7. Any problems with that, Clover?
Clover looked away and went silent for a moment.
Whatever.
It's more of a dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care.
All right, we're ready to go then. Let's move.
At Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective door. Clover, 7, and Junpei walked towards door 7. Santa, Lotus, and June headed for door 8. For a long moment, they stood in front of the door. 7 took a deep breath.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
It's open.
A narrow hallway stretched out before them. 7 and Clover leapt through the door.
Let's do this!
Hurry!
I thought you wanted to die. The moment they did, the bracelets beeped. The detonators in the bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them, but as he was about to step over the threshold, he stopped. He looked to his right, toward door 8. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei. This pose always makes me think of fucking Mega Man, and I don't know why, but she looks like fucking Mega Man. This is a Mega Man pose. I don't know why I think that, but I've always thought that. She turned and looked toward him. Their eyes met. They nodded.
June.
Jumpy.
Their farewell took almost 1.5 seconds.
What the hell are you doing, Junpei?
Then someone took hold of Junpei's arms and hauled him bodily through the door. He heard the sound of the number door slam shut behind him. His bracelet gave a cold electronic beep.
Only 81 seconds left! No time to waste, guys! Let's get moving!
7 led the way down the hallway. Junpei and Clover followed him as fast as they could. After what seemed like far more than 81 seconds, they reached the end of the hall. It was
Look,
not that
the door on
long.
the left! I can see the dead!
There was no time to rest or catch the breath. All 3 slammed their hands in quick succession over the scanner panel on the dead. Still trying to catch his breath, 7 leaned heavily against the wall.
It stopped. It stopped.
The smell seemed forced and a little crooked.
This is the second time we've gone through one of these numbered doors, but whew, you never really get used to it.
How? What? You did something twice. How would you be used to it? He stood up straight, no longer out of breath, and wiped some of the sweat from his head and neck. Clover smirked at him.
I would have thought a guy your size would have bigger balls than that.
Wow. God damn, Clover.
What? What the hell did you just say? Say it again! I dare you!
You have no...
You little... You wanna die?
I'd like to see you try.
You fucking brat! Alright, let's go!
Hey, calm down, guys. This isn't the time for this. It's not gonna do us any good. Gosh.
Junpei sighed. Sometimes he wondered if the doors and the puzzles were really the greatest challenge they faced.
Wait here for a minute, alright? I'm gonna go see if there are any other doors.
They didn't respond, but Junpei wasn't in the mood for a conversation anyway.
We just came through this door. And of course it's shut tight.
There's a short hallway on the left here, and an iron wall. I doubt I can get through it.
At last, he gave up and returned to 7, who was tapping lightly on the wooden door.
This door's the only option we've got, right?
Yeah, looks like it.
Hey, something's written on the door. On that iron plate.
It says operating room. If this thing's telling the truth, there could be body parts inside here.
Woo!
Well, this is probably not going to be pleasant.
We're gonna see naked, dismembered lady. Something about it made Junpei feel nervous.
Well, there's no point to standing around. Might as well go in and see what's waiting for us.
It's a naked, dismembered lady. 7 grabbed the brass knob and slowly opened the door. The creak of the hinge sounded like the groan of an old woman.
What's wrong?
No, it's nothing.
A chill snaked its way down Junpei's spine.
Let's just go.
Quickly, he gathered what courage he could and took the first step into the room. Seven followed, with Clover right behind him.
Huh?
Part of the room just past the door was obscured by a curtain.
What the hell is this?
It's a fucking curtain.
Why don't we take a look?
It's a fucking curtain, I can see it from here.
Hey, Clover!
Clover's curiosity got the better of her, and she darted past Junpei to look past the screen. Naked lady in pieces? Her scream nearly blew out Junpei's eardrums.
What?
Clover!
Ian Seven ran toward Clover to see what had frightened her.
Hey, what's wrong?
They rounded the screen and the cause of her outburst was immediately clear.
What the hell is this?
Naked lady.
Is
Actually, naked dude.
this a corpse?
That's a mannequin. It was something that looked kind of like a human lying across some sort of bed. That's obviously a mannequin. No, not a bed. An operating table. The table is set on a rusty steel lift and a cluster of bright operating lights shone down on it from the ceiling.
We should probably take a closer look.
Yeah.
Slowly, they approached. As they got closer to the body, it became clear it wasn't a body at all.
This is...
What the hell? That's just a huge doll or something.
You're all idiots.
Doll?
Clover did not look terribly comforted. Slowly, she approached the operating table and looked as intently as possible from as far away as possible at the thing. Junpei could see her relax.
You're right. It's only a doll.
Didn't have any genitals at all.
Man, it really scared me.
She heaved a great sigh of relief and wiped a few drops of sweat from her forehead. Seven smirked.
Well, I guess it would have been weird if you actually had any balls.
Shut it! Don't you start with me, fatty.
Oh, what's this? You want a piece of me, short stuff?
Yeah, bring it on, you whale!
Hey, guys, not again, okay?
Seriously, knock it off. Jeez. Anyway, it looks like he's got something the two of you could stand to have a little more of. I'm talking about a heart.
That was fucking cheesy as shit.
Huh? Oh, this? You mean on his chest?
Yeah.
It was set a little higher than normal for a human body, but from the shape of the organ, there could be no doubt that it was a heart.
Why would there be a heart in a doll?
I don't think it's a doll.
You think maybe it's like a medical mannequin or something?
Or maybe it's got more personal uses?
Seven, shut up. Seven's grin was more than a little perverted. Clover glared at him.
Anyway, how about we take a look around this place? Let's go.
Okay.
Why am I with the two of
Sure
you?
thing.
Seven, maybe eight's not your problem. Maybe Lotus isn't the problem. Maybe you just suck with all girls. I don't know. Alright, what we got? Well, these dolls are really kind of creepy, you know? Hey, it says something here. John? You think that's this doll's name? Maybe? This thing's creepy. I wonder why it's on this bed. Creepy mannequin is lying down on the bed. Apparently his name is John. Hey, I wonder what this thing is. It says kilograms on the display. You think maybe it's the scale? White cloth. An operating table. Do you think old operating tables used to look like this? I have no idea. Okay, well, apparently I can't do anything with that. They use these for surgery, right? Let's see, syringes, cups, a plate. There's the sort of scissorish thingy. Got your forceps, a bunch of surgical tools. Nothing else I can use. Another medical mannequin. I told you there'd be a lady in pieces. From the looks of it, this one's a chick. She has a name too, Lucy. Poor thing. Looks like a Miss Lucy only has a head and a left arm. Maybe we're supposed to gather all her parts. There's some kind of device attached to the bed that says kilogram on the panel. What's this thing? It's got these short iron legs. Maybe it's a heater? There's nothing inside it. Can't click on that. Yeah, torso. This one might have fake tits. Looks like it's got fake tits. Ew, that's gross. This is the chest. It's a woman's chest. The heart's gone, but it's pretty hot. 7! If that kind of thing turns you on, 7, you're a real creepo. And you're not wrong. Maybe you're supposed to heat something up like that gauze to kill the bacteria. There's a boiling thingy over there. There's nothing in the lid, or on the lid or in the drawers. Drawer's empty, nothing there. Nothing on the lower shelf, can't click the upper shelf. I'll take the scalpel. None of this other stuff looks useful. All pretty rusty, great. Excellent, let's definitely want that. Medical mannequin with its guts showing. Ew, gross. Hey Junpei, there's a slit in this thing's chest. Sure is, there's something in there. Maybe we can get it out. Stinking thing won't budge. Guess you can't use force on this. We need something small that can fit in that little hole. I got forceps. Chest of the medical mannequin. One of the organs is missing. Organ is gone? Really, Clover? I expected more from you. Oh, like you can do better. But one of the organs. The organ is. If you pull out the lung on the right, there's still more stuff in there. Man, you're kind of slow, aren't you? You say something? Okay, I guess that's what I did use the forceps for. Alright, well, let's put the fake chest on. This bed doesn't look very comfortable. Okay, can't do that apparently. Anything out here? Looks like it's locked. Guess we're gonna need a key for this one. That's the door we came through. The only thing out there is the number door. Pretty sure I don't need to tell you the number door is a one-way deal, so... No point going back there, huh? And they're nodding. Awesome. Locked. You can probably find the key if you look some more. Let's look somewhere else. Thing for boiling tools to sterilize them. There's nothing in the drawer. How did this one work? Alright, let's see here. Let's examine the scalpel. Or the organ. So we took the organ out. It's a lung, not an organ thingy. This part here on the back, it's all rubbery. You're right. It's a fake organ. Wait, what's 7 grabbing it for? Hey, it feels like there's something in here. You're gonna cut through the rubber part? Okay, that's... Yeah, now I'm remembering. Organ key. Found a key in an internal organ. Alright, which door does it go to? Apparently this one. Let's see, a piece of paper. Some kind of medical report. New material's been added, I'll look at that later. Okay, it's locked, that's the way out. What's this, a light switch? Doesn't seem to be working. Four different lights, each one a different color. White, red, blue, and purple. Does this thing react to something and the lights light up? Oop, no, I didn't want to look at it again. Sink. The doctors and nurses probably wash their hands here before an operation. Nothing suspicious here. Okay, maybe this is... I guess this is like the key to both doors, perhaps? Yeah, okay. Alright, what we got? Hey, Junpei, you think there are any slugs on this ship? Huh? Well, if there are, I was thinking we could put salt on them. What's you pointing at? Label says knuckle. Salt, huh? You think 7 will shrivel up if we put it on? Hey, you say something? Oh, salt on the shelf. Alright. Iron 1, salt 2, water 3, ammonia, carbon dioxide, ammonia, ethanol. This is CO2. Alright. Can't fill the carbon dioxide. Something stinks coming from this ball. It says ammonia. Of course that stinks. It's ammonia, so that's 4. NH3. Junpei, there's dihydrogen monoxide on the shelf. Why don't you just say water? Canister carbon dioxide. NH3 is... So in other words, ammonia is made of 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogen atoms, yeah. Oh, good stuff. Let's go for a drink. What are you talking about? I'm talking about that bottle. It says C2H5OH, right? Yeah, that is alcohol. That one. It's ethanol. Don't drink it. That's right. It's also known as ethyl alcohol. It's pretty much what booze is made of. Don't drink 100% ethanol. It's bad for you. Alright. So, carbon dioxide, ammonia, ethanol, 349. Hey, we got an arm. Something in the box. Fake red arm. Cool. And a fake heart. Excellent. Everything I ever wanted. Red liquid. Blue liquid. Polyethanol. Okay. Looking at the table. Do people mix a mess on this thing? Bottle iron powder. Bottle salt. Carbon dioxide, bottle of water. Okay, that's everything you can get in here.
You think we should go back?
Yeah, I think that's probably best.
Clover nodded and left. Junpei was about to follow her when he realized that 7 wasn't following suit.
Hey, 7, what's up?
Oh, well,
You were here the whole time. Were you? Were you here the whole time? He looked at Junpei distractedly and then back down at the brown bottle he kept in his large hands.
Is that a medicine bottle?
I got curious about it. Here.
In response, 7 tossed the bottle gently to Junpei. He caught it and twisted it around to read the label.
Ethylene diamine tartrate?
Yeah, that's right. CDT.
What kind of medicine is that?
It's not medicine. I think it's an industrial strength detergent.
Why would they have something like that here?
Well, probably to clean stuff up.
Ethylene diamine tartrate, EDT, is a salt formed from ethylene diamine and tartric acid, known for its piezoelectric properties and used in making crystals for frequency control in electronics like television. It is soluble in water and crystallizes at room temperature. While it's been historically explored for use in industrial cleaners, its primary application is in the field of crystal oscillators and other devices requiring the control of electrical frequencies. The growth and development of ED crystals has been studied in the context of chemical engineering and material science, including investigating factors that influence crystal shape and stability. Hydrates. Okay, I see where this is going. Over time, EDT crystals can absorb water molecules and form hydrates, which can affect their useful properties. Yeah, okay, so he's about to talk about hydrates. You can't, I mean, you're right, I can't prove anything.
Clean what up?
Fuck if I know. Still,
This is gonna be a
Looks like it's
conversation
cleaned my
like the
brain up.
glycerin. Junpei looked up from the bottle.
You remember something?
yeah.
Seven nodded slowly and spoke.
Well, I remember a story about EDT. Happened about 50 years ago.
This is all about to be bullshit, but sure, go ahead.
There was this factory somewhere in America making big old EDT crystals. They were making it to sell as an industrial strength cleaner, like I told you before. But a year after the factory started up, something strange started happening with the crystals they were building. Water molecules started attaching themselves to the EDT crystals. This made them into a sort of mutation of the original crystals, called a hydrate. Once the crystals turn into a hydrate, though, it's useless as a cleaner. The factory had to just dump the crystals. As a hydrate, they were useless. But it didn't end there. After that day, the same thing started happening in EDT factories everywhere, even ones nowhere near that first American factory.
This is going to be another morphogenetic field story.
They'd been making crystals the same way, with the same materials and the same equipment and environment. But now, all of a sudden, every single crystal they formed turned into a hydrate.
Yeah, that's what happens when, like, it rains.
In fact, ever since that day, no factory anywhere has been able to make a pure EDT crystal.
And there's the bullshit.
Even in EDT research done years before, they'd never gotten a hydrate. But after it happened at the first factory, it just spread. It was like, man, how do you say it?
Like the molecules were communicating with one another, transmitting information in a way humans couldn't perceive.
Hey, here's how we can ruin their business strategies.
This phenomena spread throughout the world, right?
Junpei looked up at Seven with half a smirk. Seven stared at him, dumbfounded.
Yeah, that's it exactly. But how did you know?
I heard another story, kind of like that one.
When?
In the freezer?
What?
Yeah, so
Freezer?
your choices that you... So every time you make a choice, the game remembers the last choice you made and will play it forward for as long as that playthrough lasts. So it does change the dialogue, which does eventually get you to the true path based on the conversations you have with people.
Yeah, June told me.
Junpei told Seven the story he heard from June in the freezer in the kitchen. How one day glycerin began to crystallize, and the story of ice that would melt at room temperature. When Junpei was done, Seven looked thoughtful and absent-mindedly rubbed the scar on his chin.
Ice that doesn't melt at room temperature, huh?
That sounds familiar?
Yeah, hold up. I feel like I can remember something. It's right there.
Seven squinted. His eyes stared off into space as if he were trying desperately to focus on something far away.
Do you?
Do you know something about Ice 9? Do you know something about it?
Know something about it?
I told you I think I do. Just hold on. It was...
Seven thought hard and mumbled to himself. After a few minutes, he gave up.
Damn it! Why'd you have to ask me some dumbass question? I totally lost my train of thought.
Sorry, man.
As Junpei was trying to figure out what on earth he was going to say next, Clover's shrill voice pierced the room.
Hey, what are you two doing over there?
Comparing dick sizes. Mind your own business. Or take pictures, one or the other.
Stop wasting time and get over here.
Okay, we're coming.
Jeez.
Seven looked at Junpei.
Oh well. Look, if I remember anything, I'll let you know. Alright?
I'm pretty sure if we mention Ice 9, then that wouldn't have been a dead-end conversation.
Right now, we need to get the hell out of this room, though, okay?
With that, he turned and left. Junpei's mind still occupied with the story Seven had told him slowly followed. Alright, so I think we have all the chemicals we can get right now. We can at least get 3 lockers open. Hey, it turned red! Forget about that. Didn't you hear that just now? Yeah. We get a fake right leg. Excellent. Use blue liquid. Blue now. I think I heard another noise. Easy puzzle for babies. Now how am I gonna put this back? I get it. You combine the red and blue liquid to make a purple one. Good job, Junpei. The purple light came on and I heard it unlock. I'm sure it's unlocked. The lock where the purple plays gotta be unlocked. Alright, let's see what happened. Fake stomach. All the body parts, all the necessary pieces of an organ of a human being. Okay. Oh, hang on a sec. So let's see, go to the file menu. The medical record. Medical record found in the preparation room. It has records for 2 mannequins. There's a male mannequin named John and a female named Lucy. The record shows the mannequins' total weight and weight of their individual parts. Okay. So John is... Wow, Lucy's a little heavier than John. For 3.2, J 51.3. Okay, so how do I start this mini game then? Huh? There's some sort of lid on this thing. Why don't you try opening it? Can't, there's no handle. Can't get it under it with my nails either. Yeah, how do I start this game again? Or for the medical man again. Doesn't look hot at all. Have you got a thing for feet 7? No, that's crazy. You're sure acting shady. Left foot of the mannequin. Do you think I'm better? What? Do you think my legs are skinnier? This is a really big nose. That's no nose. It's a stomach. A stomach. Right. How do you start this thing? This ain't good for the heart. How do you start this game again? There's a mini game we need to do to get out of here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we collected 6 parts of the medical mannequin. So the ones we got must be for Lucy, right? Yeah, seems like it. I'll say we get Lucy her parts back. Any objections? Agreed. Alright, let's get started. Combine! Henshin! Hey, nothing happened. That's odd. Maybe it's the wrong weight? We know there's a scale inside the bed. Maybe we need to scale to a specific number. I think we're supposed to swap her body parts with John. Oh, let's give it a shot. Alright, here we go. Operating instructions. The screen will display 2 medical mannequins. You can switch the body parts by selecting the part you want to switch out. I gotta have that opposite. Lucy's gotta be the heavy one. There we go. Everything but the heart. Hey Junpei, I just heard something. Came from John's operating table. You better check it out. So this is a ship of Thesis. Huh? Lid on the scale. It opened. I get it. It must have opened because we matched John's weight to what's on the chart. The Jupiter key. I think it's ship of feces? Something like that. Alright, well, whatever. They'll tell us and I will know how exactly wrong I am, but let's get out of here.
Hey, hold on.
Junpei stopped, about to put the key in the knob.
Oh, what's up?
Where's Clover?
Huh?
You hadn't heard jokes about your balls for the last 5 minutes? Junpei turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, god damn it. Where the hell did she go?
She could have gone to like 3 rooms that aren't this
okay,
one.
Just hold on.
Sure thing.
Junpei left someone at the door and headed back to the operating room. He found her standing next to the operating table. She was staring at the mannequin.
Hey, Clover, what's wrong? Come on, let's get out of here.
She didn't respond. If she hadn't been standing up and breathing, Junpei might have thought she was dead.
What are you doing? Did you want to come back here and say goodbye to John?
It wasn't the best joke, but it was something, an attempt to lighten the mood. Clover didn't laugh. She stood stuck still and said nothing.
Hey, Clover, can you hear me?
Perhaps it was something he said, or perhaps it was something else. Suddenly her mouth opened and she whispered in a dry, dead voice.
My brother might be dead.
Yeah, probably.
Huh?
That's why we couldn't find him. If he's dead, I'm going to be next.
Suddenly the operating table felt very, very cold.
What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
He gave her a small shake, but she still didn't respond. Silence grew heavier. Junpei, what do you want to do? We need to leave.
Let's just get out of here. We've got the key, let's use it. That cool with you?
Yeah,
Clover nodded almost imperceptibly. Still, Junpei was glad to see she was at least somewhat responsive. What are you booing me? Don't boo me.
It's time to go.
I'm just doing my very best. He put his hand on her shoulder and guided her to the preparation room. As they arrived at the door, she suddenly stopped.
I'm sorry.
What was this? Why was she apologizing? Junpei wasn't sure what to make of her. Was she emotionally unstable because her brother had gone missing?
I'm really sorry. Just forget everything I told you, okay?
I'm going to kill you all.
Don't worry about it. Really. I mean it.
At my first opportunity, I will murder everybody. How could anyone pretend not to hear something like that? But something told him this wasn't the time to press the issue. Junpei gave her the warmest, kindest smile he could manage.
All right.
Thank you.
Her smile was weak. It was almost painful to watch.
Damn, what the hell took you guys so long?
We were making out. Seven looked up as they walked in the room, clearly irritated.
You playing doctor in there or something?
Yes, Clover is the C-cup.
Maybe. Jealous?
Seven avoided answering the question. They stood in front of the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key.
All right, I'm gonna open it now. Is that
You don't need to keep asking, just do it, alright?
Fine then.
He slid the key into the keyhole and turned it. Like a penis in a vagina, you put it in and you twist it around. He felt it unlock. The door opened with a soft, melancholy creak. Beyond it lay a simple white hallway. There's no fanfare or confetti. Obviously, there was no one there to applaud them. They simply walked through the door. That was it.
All right, let's get going.
Hey man, what's up with you? You're so serious, you know? Can't you sound more happy, get a little excited?
Woo! We're one step closer not to dying! Let's go!
Not really.
Junpei turned away from Seven and took his first step down the simple white hallway.
My brother might be dead. I'm going to be next.
Clover had told him only a few minutes before that her brother was probably dead and she was likely to follow him.
Like hell I can. Not after hearing something like that.
Yay, we found it. The G-spot. Also the way out. They left the operating room. The hallway took them around several corners and past several doors, but they were all locked.
There too, huh? Every door in this place is locked up tight.
How about that one?
The final door was hidden in a corner of the hall.
May as well give it a try.
Junpei grabbed the handle. As he made to push it open, a voice stopped him. The voice came from behind him and belonged to neither Seven nor Clover. It was the murderer.
Jumpy!
Huh?
He spun around. He saw someone running toward him from the other end of the hallway. There were 3 people coming toward Junpei and his companions.
June? And Santa? And Lotus too!
Hooray! The whole gang. They pulled up short in front of Junpei, breathing hard.
Whoa! What the hell is this?
Lotus had to tuck herself back in before anybody noticed.
What are you doing here?
What? But we didn't...
Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys! Could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she'd found.
Look on the wall here.
There was something on the wall at the end of the hallway. It's another
A map of the ship's interior?
It says C deck. So it's the map for this floor then?
Door 7. And... Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
Hooray! In fact...
Yeah, isn't that what I said? We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. That's how the nonary game works.
I see.
Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. Hey, could this...
As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to weariness.
Oh!
You've got to be kidding me.
One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
We may as well go.
Yeah.
They moved as one for the door.
Oh, almost forgot. We should keep this.
He pulled the map of the ship's interior off the wall, put it in his pocket, and followed the others. The 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke without looking back at the other 5.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
You don't have to keep telling us. Slowly, all 5 nodded their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were.
I knew it.
They were just where the map had said they would be.
We're back. In the hospital room.
Yay!
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying. The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8.
No fucking anesthetic wears off that goddamn fast. We were gone for less than an hour. We know because the bell didn't chime.
You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors.
He looked like anyone might, after only just waking up, but it seemed that his brain was working as well as ever. He managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report. What?
At any
is he
rate,
paying us?
I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism.
You should.
I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head with a rueful smile.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough.
7 smiled.
Anyway, I say we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Right, Junpei?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
Oh, the solar system keys. Actually, we found one in the laboratory too. Here, the Earth key.
Lotus dug out a still warm key with an Earth symbol on it.
I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to it. That way it won't be my fault if it gets lost.
Yeah, you don't have any fucking goddamn pockets in that outfit, I know.
Yeah. On it.
And with that, she pressed it into Junpei's hand. He felt slightly less than honored.
Now we have 3 keys that we haven't used yet.
Yeah. The Jupiter key that we found in the operating room. The Saturn key card we found in the kitchen.
Where did we fucking end up in the flowchart? Okay, we did take the first one.
And the Earth key Lotus just gave me.
Smells like Lotus. Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. Jun spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs...
Wait!
They were the first words anyone had heard out of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. Just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point. At least there is for me.
There were tears in her eyes, but she glared at 7 as hard as she could just the same. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. 7 looked everywhere in the room except at Clover and muttered and coughed up apologies under his breath.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
Clover nodded once. The next person to speak was Ace.
Very well, I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again. So 7, you'll help me, won't you?
Huh? Me?
Junpei did the calculations quickly in his head. 4 plus 1 plus 7 is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. He looked like 7 was doing them too. Oh yes, at last he gave up.
Damn. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be. So I'm going with you, huh?
Yes, you are.
All right, let's get moving.
And so it was decided that Clover, Ace, and 7 would discover what lay beyond door 3. I'm not standing up, watch.
Okay,
I don't know
we're
how you
heading
think
out.
I am.
Be careful.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go to your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The rest of us can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
7 nodded, as if this answer made much more sense, and pulled the lever on the rod.
Okay, we're off.
The door opened, and Ace, Clover, and 7 jumped through it. 6, 7, 8. After exactly 9 seconds, the doors closed noisily.
All right, we should get moving too.
Huh?
Get moving.
Where are we going?
Everyone except Lotus seemed rather confused.
Well, it would be a waste of time to just sit around, wouldn't it? Let me explain.
Oh, I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key.
Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
They were at the end of the hallway lined by individual hospital rooms.
And here's the Jupiter symbol on the keyhole.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Junpei, open it if you please.
Yeah, on it.
Junpei pulled the Jupiter key out of his pocket and slid it into the keyhole. He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Junpei sucked in a breath, held it, and opened the door as quietly as it could. Yay! Very exciting. Inside was exactly what he expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. They were in a tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom, with a massive central staircase.
Great, back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea?
What do you mean?
Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we? I'm asking you if there's any reason we came back here.
Of course there's a reason.
Of course there's a reason. Man, sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky.
Huh?
This.
Junpei pulled 2 things out of his pockets.
The Saturn key card. And the Earth key? I'm lost.
Santa cocked his head to one side like an inquisitive bird and looked at them. After several long moments, during which it became apparent that Santa had no idea what the cards meant, June took pity on him.
Don't you remember? On C deck, where we are now, there was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember? And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And on A deck, on the door to the left, there was a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it, I think. So the 2 keys that Jumpy has?
Should let us use the elevator and the door on A deck. Huh.
Yes, that's right.
June smiled, pleased with herself. So did Santa.
All right, I got it. Let's get started then. What do you say we split into 2 teams? Lotus and I will search the Earth one, so you 2 can search Saturn, all right?
Sounds good. Then you guys should take this key.
Junpei handed the Earth key to Santa. They decided that their initial search should be brief.
We have no idea what's on the other side of these, so don't go too far. Just search for 10 minutes and come back.
Plan decided, the two teams split up. Junpei and June headed for the elevators.
There's a card reader next to the left elevator.
Then let's try out the Saturn key card.
A light on the upper left corner blinked to life.
Great! It looks like it's working now.
All right. Now, how do I call the elevator?
There's a single button to the right of the elevator door.
Oh, it only has the upside down triangle on it.
I guess there's no up button. Well, we may as well try pushing this one.
The door slid shut, and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved out.
It opened! Look, Jumpy!
Yay! Fantastic. June's voice was excited, but Junpei could hear a tinge of anxiety.
Sweet! It opened! Let's get going.
He grinned at June and stepped toward the open door. As he was about to set foot in it, he felt a hand on his arm.
Wait!
What?
I'm not really, I just, oh gosh.
Junpei was at something of a loss. What could she possibly be so frightened of? June was probably afraid of being locked up alone with a boy. After a little thought, Junpei decided that she had to be nervous about being locked up in such a small space alone with a boy.
Well, we will be all alone in here.
In a way, it was kind of cute. Very demure, you could say, he thought. Still, even though it wasn't exactly roomy in the elevator, they weren't going to be pressed up against one another. At least they didn't have to be. Still, it was making her nervous. Junpei couldn't help but think how innocent she was.
Jumpy?
Huh? Oh, nothing. It's not important. Come on, let's go.
Again, he stepped toward the elevator. And again, he felt himself restrained.
I said wait a minute.
Why?
Aren't you afraid, Jumpy?
Afraid of what?
Well, I've never, you know.
It's your first time?
She'd never been in an elevator with a man alone before? Even so, she still seemed awfully alarmed.
I might get wet.
What?
Down there. I'd get soaking wet.
Well, I mean, of course you would. That's the way it works. I mean, I've never heard of anyone getting soaking wet somewhere else.
That's true. You don't mind?
Mind what?
Getting wet.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd probably, like it.
Gosh, Jumpy, you're so brave.
Really? I mean, I kind of think any guy would do the same thing, you know? What happens, happens, right? I mean, if you get the chance, you just gotta go for it. That's what a man is supposed to do. I guess.
Yeah. You're so cool, Jumpy. I really admire you.
That doesn't really seem like the sort of thing you ought to admire someone for.
I'm really scared.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you've never done it before.
Yes, so I don't think I'll be able to last very long. And then it'll be over.
Over?
Yes, I'll go to heaven.
Heaven?
It feels kind of like you're floating in space, and your mind gets all fuzzy, like when you pass out. At least that's what I've heard from people who have experienced it.
Yes, I've heard that too. Although I don't think the same thing happens to guys.
What?
Huh?
But it would happen to men too, wouldn't it? It would happen to anyone. Once it gets into your body, the same thing happens to everyone.
Well, I mean, usually it doesn't go inside the man. I mean, generally.
Yes, it does. Well, eventually it will. It's not like you really have a choice. Your body will force you to swallow some of it. Eventually.
What are you trying to do to me?
Nothing. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm just saying that that's what happens. It's a psychological reaction to what you're experiencing.
Oh, is that so?
Then it's only natural? Is that what's natural for living beings? Perhaps he'd been mistaken all those years. Had he misunderstood life so gravely? The thought terrified him. June seemed to be entirely oblivious to Junpei's mounting confusion and terror.
I know most men probably have larger lungs, but even then, I don't think you could hold your breath for 20 or even 10 minutes.
Not unless your Guybrush Threep would.
Eventually, you'd have to breathe, and then the water would get into your lungs. Once that happens, your body won't be able to get oxygen anymore, and you'll start to feel that floaty feeling as you pass out.
So this is like one of the funnier conversations that Junpei and June have. I've actually kind of been looking forward to hearing this voice acted. It's kind of ambiguous in the fandom whether or not June has any idea what she's doing to Junpei, or if she knows precisely and is just kind of teasing him.
Huh.
Oh.
I mean, obviously you could just say the elevator only goes down. She's worried about drowning. Finally, Junpei understood. He understood what June was trying to say and why she was so scared.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't last very long.
See?
She was afraid the only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. As he thought about it, he realized he hadn't seen elevators on A or B decks near the central staircase. All of which meant the elevator could only convey them to the lower decks.
Come to think of it, the lower floor, D deck, is completely underwater. An elevator heading to a submerged floor. That is pretty scary. Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right?
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a motor noise like it was moving, and then it opened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, take a look inside.
Junpei jerked his head toward the interior of the elevator.
It's not wet at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Oh, you're right. They are.
She looked around the elevator, slightly embarrassed.
Well, let's test it.
Test it.
Yeah, watch this. Now, I'll just put one foot inside the elevator and look over at the buttons. Oh, there's only two. E and C. All right, I'll push E.
He pushed the E button and jumped out of the elevator. The doors slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motors. The elevator car moved down.
I think I can hear it opening on E deck.
Okay, that's done. Now I'll just press the button again.
A few minutes later, the elevator returned.
Yep, not a single drop of water to be seen. See?
Junpei couldn't resist puffing out his chest just a little bit. June, however, still looked confused.
What does that mean? How can E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water?
Well, here's what I think. The elevator shaft and E deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured. Here, let me show you.
He pulled out his notebook and pen and sketched out a rough illustration.
I see. So is that why the ship hasn't sunk? The shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Junpei continued talking as he closed the notebook and slipped it back in his pocket. Where'd I get the Sharpie?
So I'm gonna go down and check it out. You stay here, alright?
But...
Come on, just do it, alright?
He gave June's shoulder a reassuring squeeze, then hopped on the elevator. Pushed the E button and the door began to close. June looked worried, her eyes darting back and forth as if she was trying to make a decision when suddenly...
I'm coming with you!
She Mega Man'd.
Huh?
At the last possible moment, June dashed forward, turning sideways just in time to slip through the gap between the closing doors.
Hey, wait!
Junpei jammed his finger against the open button, but it was too late.
Oh, crap. It closed!
The door had shut, he and June were in the elevator, and it was headed down to E deck. He was so surprised by June, he didn't even have time to think about what awaited him on the E deck.
I can't just let you go alone, you know.
Ah, jeez.
The elevator stopped and the door slid open. Then they tentatively stepped out and looked around.
It looks normal.
No fish going about their fishy business or jellyfish floating lazily through the water. There was, however, a blowfish. Or at least something that looked very much like one. June's cheeks were puffed out, and her mouth a tiny intense frown.
Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought. This part hasn't flooded. Come on, just look around. There's no water here.
June looked around nervously, then exhaled.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
Yeah, right on top of us.
What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks?
Well, then we drown. Junpei thought about that for a moment.
Well, we'd probably get really wet up there.
Huh?
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here. Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay, good idea.
Now then.
Junpei glanced around the room they found themselves in. The first thing he noticed was a set of thick iron bars. They ran the length of the room, separating the left elevator from the right one.
Iron bars. Well, we can't go over there.
Right.
Then maybe...
In the corner of the room that housed the elevators, Junpei found an opening.
Well,
He walked up to it and stuck his head around the corner.
it looks like there's a long straight hallway down this way.
Something's written on the door at the end. Wait, is that...
Let's check.
Junpei and June stood up down the hallway at a brisk clip somewhere between a run and a jog. Before long, they found themselves in front of the door. On it was a number written in bright red paint. 6.
I knew it!
This is a numbered door.
And indeed, there was a red bolted to the wall right next to the door.
But we can't do anything with only the two of us.
We better head back and let everyone know.
Yes.
Junpei and June turned and headed back to C deck.
Wait, what's this?
On the way back, Junpei noticed the map on the wall.
Is this the map for E-Deck? I should take it with me. Huh, so you guys found door 1.
They'd met back up with Santa and Lotus, who had explained what they'd found. Apparently, there was another numbered door in A deck, just like the one on E deck beyond the door that the Earth key opened. According to Santa and Lotus, there was a 1 on the door.
So now we've located 2 new doors. The 6 door and the 1 door.
You know, it is interesting that E-Deck wasn't flooded.
Lotus was quiet for a moment, lost in thought.
Well, we don't really know if all of E-Deck is safe.
So we don't have, let's see, so we have a 1 deck, 3 deck, 4 deck, 5 deck, door. A 1 door, 3 door, 4 door, 5 door, 6 door, 7 door, and 8 doors. So we don't have the 2 door or the 9 door yet.
We only checked the area around the elevator.
Even so, it's still very interesting.
You said the 6th door was there, right?
Yes.
Then that means Zero planned all this out, even the sinking. That would have meant some pretty serious remodeling of the ship's interior.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah. I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it must have cost.
It would have been a ton, that's for sure.
Well, that does go along with what Ace was saying. The most reasonable explanation would be that this was done by some organization with access to a whole lot of cash.
Yes, it does make sense.
That thought made them all go quiet for a moment. June bit her lip while Lotus sighed softly to herself, and Santa cracked a stiff neck and stared into the distance at nothing.
Yeah?
I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here.
June looked up at Junpei with large pleading eyes.
Yeah, you're right. Ace and his team might be back already.
Well, Junpei and I should be able to open door 1.
Huh? You guys leaving me behind?
8 plus 6 plus 5 is 1, and 9. 1 and 9 is 1, and 0, 1 and 0, 1.
Just kidding. All right, let's go.
Lotus's words were all the impetus they needed. Back to the large hospital room they went. The moment they stepped inside, a tremendous voice echoed across the room.
Hey! Where the hell did you guys go?
We were exploring. It was 7.
7?
Ace was right behind him, and Clover was behind Ace, although she seemed to be hanging back.
What's wrong?
It looked as though there was something strange about them. Seven had the look of a man who'd seen a ghost. Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she was only moments from passing out entirely. For a long moment, they simply stood there looking at one another. Junpei looked around nervously, waiting for someone else to speak. No one did. He looked at Seven.
What happened?
What the hell kind of question is that?
Seven was trying very hard to be angry, but something had shaken him hard. His shoulders were trembling and his voice was strained.
Snake is...
Seven couldn't finish. He just looked away, his face twisted by... Junpei wasn't sure what. Instead, Ace spoke. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke.
Snake is dead.
Hey, Clover was right.
He died, just as the ninth man did.
It was as if all the air had suddenly been sucked out of the room. Junpei felt his heartbeat quicken, and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel cold sweat beating on his forehead and neck. June, Santa, and Lotus looked the way he felt. All three were frozen in place, their faces white.
Oh my god. That's not true, is it?
We should make sure.
Yeah, let's go look at it.
Yeah, right. We should.
They nodded to one another and headed for the number 3 door.
Wait, not that way.
What? Why not?
They stopped short and turned to look at Seven. He was pointing at the door with no number.
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go in that way.
Where is he?
Shower room. The left side of the hallway. I put a broom in there too to keep the door open.
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then let's go.
Their new destination clear, Junpei and his companions headed for the door with no number. Once in the hallway, it was easy to spot the metal door on the left wall.
This wasn't open when we passed here before.
But now, just as Seven said, there was a broom stuck between the door and frame, keeping it open.
Well, let's keep going.
They looked at it for a moment, then stepped inside.
Oh, it smells horrible.
Lotus wrinkled her nose and covered her mouth in disgust. Even Santa pinched his nose shut.
Ugh, yeah, this is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
Turns out humans don't smell good on the inside. It was just as bad as they said, perhaps worse. A hideous smell filled the air so thick they could almost taste it. It was sour and smelled of fish and feces and burnt meat. It worked its way through Junpei's nose and down his throat to pound against the entrance to his stomach.
Ooh.
He put his hands over his mouth and struggled to keep what little was in his stomach where it belonged.
Where is he? Where's Snake?
Oh, he's over there. They didn't have to wonder where the body was.
There.
There's blood everywhere, a few arms of the splatter reaching toward them as they walked in through the door. All one had to do was follow the many radial arms to their source, and the body itself was hidden behind a divider.
June, you should stay here.
But
Please, just do me a favor, okay?
He didn't give her a chance to say no. He put his hand on her shoulder as if to shove her into the ground like a tent pole. What a weird comparison. Turned and walked toward the end of the divider.
I'm going in.
That's what he said. Felt like it took an eternity for him to get there. Santa and Lotus followed, timid and nervous as a pair of children. Eventually, they reached the divider. Looked at one another and nodded slowly. Junpei put his hands on the divider and peered around the corner. For a moment, he forgot to breathe. He felt his heart collapse in his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. He knew in that instant that he would take in the image before him to the grave. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast, ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck there as they drained. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall even as they dried to it.
Just like Ace said.
Santa's voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down some vomit of his own.
Just like the ninth man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces.
Oh, the face. It's horrible.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. So there's also kind of a reason, like, some of these descriptions are kind of juvenile a bit. I don't know if it's like a canon reason, like if it's an intentional reason, or if it's just like a localization, but there's a possible reason that some of these descriptions are kind of juvenile. Especially when you're talking about describing a dead body. His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white suit, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks.
But the clothes are...
They were all familiar to Junpei.
No mistake about it. It's Snake.
Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and strained, and Junpei heard it catch in her throat. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. I think that's what we're going to call it an episode for YouTube here. Twitch, I think we might go at least another 45 minutes, maybe an hour. YouTube, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed what you saw, let me know. Give me likes, give me comments. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you then, Twitch. I need to get up for a minute. I'll be right back. I'm going to play an ad. I never play ads. The ad button works. Yay.